What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. Now, I thought I was going to be opening Prime 1 Ellie or Abby. However, this showed up. So, I don't know if Resin GK got his whatever switched around. He told me that this was Ellie or Abby, and then gave me a UPS tracking for this. But this just showed up. I'm actually really pissed because I wanted Ellie and Abby, not this. But here we have it, Mark 43. I just started Last of Us 2 in anticipation of getting Ellie and Abby, and he hasn't shipped either, actually. So I'm really pissed off. But let's go ahead and open up this and see what it's like. I've been waiting technically 3 months for this, although to be brutally honest, I lost interest after 2.5 months ago of even getting this. So I don't know if I'll even keep it. So not super excited, but let's go ahead and open it up. At least the box is small. Alrighty, so here is the box. We got some instructions here. Now, looks like these use the exact same battery system as the Mark 7, which means I will never, ever, ever light this up. Normally, I would have never got this. The only reason I got it was because I have Hulkbuster, which I still kind of want to sell, just so I could do unmasked Tony Stark bust. What I'd probably do, if anyone actually does want to buy Hulkbuster off me, 3,500 shipped, I'll throw this in for free. This is normally an $800 statue, by the way. It's the companion to the Hulkbuster. But we got the COA. I'm not even going to take this out. I'm just going to leave it here. Don't care about the COA for 1/4 scale statues. Yeah, so this is going to be the light up feature. I probably will just leave these in the box unless I have to input them for like something else. Otherwise, we will not even bother with that because watch batteries die instantly. Like instantly. And then they corrode and they get mold. It's actually really bad for your statues to leave those type of batteries in. You got to take them out. So the base is nice and small, which is good. You know, it's like this is pretty small, actually. Look at that little Jupiter. So you got what looks like some sort of... I mean, I don't know if this is supposed to be the Ironmonger or just some, you know, something he fought. Well, actually, wait. No, that'd be an Ultron Sentry. I'm getting confused with Mark III. No, that would be an Ultron Sentry in the ground. And then, yeah, dirt, trees, rocks... You know, it's sort of like a, you know, some sort of bag filled with something. It's pretty nice, though. It's a nice looking base. It has a decent amount of detail. It's nice and small, which is really good. Let's check out this. There is the body. I'll want to two-hand this, and I need to... All right, hold on. Alrighty, so there it is. So that is how it's going to go in. Paint app looks pretty nice. So we'll go ahead and check out everything else. Here is the portrait. This is the same scaling as the Mark 7 I had, which is slightly underscaled, especially in comparison to like any other 1/4 I've ever done. Yeah, so normally you would put one of those little battery operated lights like that in the head. And the chest... I don't know how that lights up. Does the back part come off? Yeah, check that out. So you insert the little, this in here, then you take the back part off to go ahead and light it up. So yeah, we won't even bother with that. This one does not have a detailed arc reactor like the Mark 7 did. And it makes me wonder if this suit never had an arc reactor, because to be honest, I've never seen a detailed arc reactor for this suit. The Avengers 2 suit. My Iron Studios never had it. The Sideshow half scale never had it. But frankly, they've never done detailed arc reactors. So I just feel like that suit never had it. And you can't see it in the movie either, because it's always like lit up. So I think it just never actually had it. All right, let me just go ahead and finish setting this up. I think it does have a swap out as well. Alrighty, yeah, so there is a swap out. So basically you get one arm where it's like a fist, and then he's shooting out this rocket. And then the other arm is a palm open like he's doing a little blast. I prefer the palm open, but I do prefer the rocket as well. So I'll need to test out both to see which one I like better. You know, like you can see here, you know, like that is the palm open look. So you got the two looks right there. There it is. Definitely not a big statue. Like, heck, I could easily throw this behind Loki. Easily. Ideally, I would like to have this with the Hulkbuster. Let's swap out this arm. This definitely has way less pieces than the Mark 7 did. You know, the Mark 7 had quite a few more pieces. And this one does have a light up where that arm actually doesn't. So, yeah, this goes in like so. And then it has this little piece that's going to, you know, basically cover where you would put that little watch battery. So, yeah, this just goes in like so. All right, make sure that's in all the way. Alrighty, and then there is that look. Huh. Like I said, I do prefer the palm open, but I do like this rocket. That rocket is quite detailed and cool. Check that out. So this is lifted up. Has a lot of detail in there. No light up in this one, but like I said, I'll never use light up. They both look pretty good. I was thinking of leaving one in the box, but I think this is something that you would want to swap out regularly, because it does change the dynamic of the statue. That is the only swap out. There's nothing additional in the box, just that, the light ups. You got a COA with no COA holder. It's just a piece of paper. I feel like anytime they do a COA, they got to do a COA holder. Otherwise, you know, it's like difficult to just display a piece of paper, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, let's go ahead and show this next to Hulkbuster so we can see what that looks like. Alrighty, so I just pushed Doctor Strange back so I could fit it. As you see, the base is not super big. But that is how it looks next to the Hulkbuster. I do think, I mean, is it scaled correctly? I mean, Hulkbuster's massive, no doubt, but Iron Man also is pretty big, you know. But that is how it looks. I'm going to show it to you next to this guy as well, because I feel like it would scale better with this one. And I wonder, considering that base is so small, if I brought Hulk forward slightly this way, I could probably fit it back there. It does look great with Hulkbuster, no doubt. You know, the bases are somewhat similar in color. You know, I think the Iron Studios one, it's definitely a much bigger overall statue, like their Mark 43. That one's a snow base, though, so snow base would completely be super different than this, so it doesn't match base-wise. Scale-wise, I think it's more appropriate. It's a much larger 1/4, where this one is a small 1/4, you know. I'll show it to you next to my other Iron Man 1/4, because I do have two others. But yeah, that is the scaling next to Hulkbuster. What do you guys think? Alrighty, now this is the scaling next to the Iron Studios version. They are at just about the same ground level. The Iron Studios one is about maybe that much higher, so just a tad higher. But as you can see, just like the overall body is just much bigger. You know, so yeah, that is a size comparison. And then here's a size comparison next to this Civil War Iron Man, which again, yeah, is definitely bigger by about 10 to 15%. You can really see it like in the portrait size, the girth of the knees. But yeah, there is the look. Now, Iron Studios, they do car paint on their Iron Man, so it gives it a shiny look. Queen is a much flatter paint app. It is not shiny. You know, as you can see, that one's just super shiny. You know, this one is not shiny. The original Iron Studios one I used to own was very shiny as well. I do prefer the shiny look. It just gives a more metallic look, like it's made out of metal. You know, and pretty much all his suits were some form of a metal until the very end. The nano suits were different. But still, even the Iron Studios Nano suit is metallic looking. But yeah. Alright, quick comparison next to Dark Side and some 1/3s. But let's just dive in a little bit deeper. But we're pretty much done doing comparisons outside of next to that Hulkbuster. But I wanted to show you guys what you get with this piece. What the heck was even on? Is that a little? Does that come off? Okay, it did. About to say Jupiter. It does have a decent amount of wear and tear, battle damage. His boots are dirty. There's a few scuff marks and dirtiness around here, as you can see. Some almost like oil stains or something. The portrait has a good amount as well. The gold looks good. The paint app definitely matches that Hulkbuster with that darker, non-metallic looking red. But again, this Hulkbuster also does not have that metallic shiny red paint. So I think it could match that. Color-wise, I think it matches this one a little bit better. That one's a little bit brighter of a red. But we'll see how that looks. Yeah, outside of the lack of shininess, I do think the overall paint app looks good. And the detail looks good. I would say the Iron Studios one is better from memory in terms of paint and detail. That one had a great pose as well. It was flying, and the base was super detailed with that snow effect. Definitely a much better statue than this one. I think this statue should only be bought in 2 scenarios. One, companion to him, and or him. I think it'll companion this as well. And the second scenario is when you're buying the entire Ironman line, and when you have all of them together, they do look really good. Like Hulkbuster in the middle, surrounded by every single Ironman statue that Queen made. You don't get everything, every single suit ever made, but you do get all the major movie ones, from what I can tell. They are all slightly underscaled, just like this. They're all vastly overpriced. I do not think this is an $800 statue. Honestly, this feels like a $500 statue to me. I just think Queen is vastly overpricing it, especially considering the way they did the light up features. They couldn't even run an AC adapter and have a plug somewhere around here with a button. So Queen definitely overpriced this entire line. I think the only thing that was priced appropriately was Hulkbuster. I think he is worth his price. All the Ironmans are vastly overpriced. When you can get an Iron Studios one for slightly more, and it's just vastly superior, in my opinion. Overall, I'd probably give this a solid 6 out of 10 as a standalone piece. It's probably the worst Iron Man statue I've ever bought, if I'm honest. I think the Sideshow Mark III is better. Although the Mark 42 by Sideshow is definitely worse. That's the worst one. This is the second worst one. This is not as good as the Iron Man Mark III I had by Sideshow or any Iron Studios one I've owned. It's still a good statue. 6 out of 10 still means it's good. It's not great, and I would never suggest it on its own. If you're looking for a Avengers line and you want a standalone Iron Man, I would recommend this one out of any of them. That's the best Iron Man statue ever made. Yeah, Tony Stark portrait, flying pose. It's massive, immaculate. That's the best Iron Man 1/4 out there. Better than the XM Mark VII, which I've seen in person. That one is really good, but also lacks light up. Anyways, let's put it next to that Hulkbuster. Alrighty, folks. So this is the best I can fit it to have it next to the Hulkbuster. I think this scaling definitely works much better. If you think about Iron Man inside of the suit, I would say that works much better. I wish that bar wasn't there and I had a little bit more width, but this will work. He's just background companion to this Hulkbuster. The bases don't clash too much. They're both Broken Road. And I do think it scales better. Although color-wise, I think it goes slightly better with Hulkbuster by Queen. That is who it's meant to go by. However, if I truly wanted it here, I'd have to put it here and have this back like how I showed it to you guys. But yeah, for now, I think we'll just keep it right there. I think that works, But But let me know what you guys think. Again, I will sell my Hulkbuster and include that for free for $3,500 shipped in the US, if anyone's interested. And the only reason I want to sell this, not because I don't love it, I think it's a grail and amazing, but ultimately at the end of the day, I do think this wall works best with no Hulkbuster and instead all busts. You know, what I think actually would look really good is if you scoot this over, him over, and do an unmasked Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. portrait. One of the two customs I showed you guys, you could do the arm one since it has arm, and I think it looked good next to Thanos. You know, and that one's available to buy. The other one's sold out. I still think it'd look really good in this setup. You know, and in Photoshop, it looks great next to this, simply because they're the exact same design, both with a gauntlet, one-armed. You know, I think they'd look really good together. Anyways, folks, let me know what you guys think of Ironman Mark 43. Thanks, Resin GK. Link in the description below. I'm just disappointed. I thought I was getting Ellie today, and so I was super excited to open her up, and then I see this. I'm like, wait, what? You know, when you have certain expectations and they're not met, that's, you know, what results in disappointment. When you're expecting one thing, you get something else, you're disappointed. If I was expecting this, I'd be happy, but I wasn't expecting it, like, for another month, because I was told this was shipped UPSC. And now I'm thinking what happened is Ellie was shipped UPSC, and if that's the case, I'm not going to get her for another month and a half, considering Darkseid is at 40 days. He's supposed to go right here. I put that there because I want to raise him. But Darkseid isn't here yet, and it's been 40 days. And if Ellie's the same method, that means she's not here for a month and a half, and then I'm really mad because I paid for DHL shipping. Anyways, folks, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.